Qualifying races here at Leon, Mexico got underway under skies and 30-degree temperatures. Thomas Covington going around the outside to grab a hole shot. Thomas Kjær-Olsen and Seba Bryakov getting caught in turn one as Thomas Covington started to pull clear early on. Julian Lieber was right there behind him in second, and Jeremy Seewer was third. But by the time he got to this corner, the Suzuki just lost the front end and went down. Would have to work his way through the field, as would this fella, 8'11", Adam Sterry. He fell down as well, would remount in 18th place at the end of the first lap. Thomas Covington, though, was looking masterful at the front on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna. Despite the difficult conditions, the rugged racetrack, he never put a wheel wrong. Behind him, the Suzuki of Jeremy Seewer gave chase to Samuele Bernardini, those two fighting over 9th position. Ahead of them, fighting over second, were Julian Lieber and the 41 of Paul's Jonas. Jonas made an easy pass around the outside of the Belgian to go second on lap 6 of 12. But neither the two KTMs were a match for the 64 of Thomas Covington, who was consistently a lap quicker, or 1 second a lap quicker than everybody else. Lieber had a scary moment, and that cost him vital time and put him into the clutches of Calvin Verlanderen and Benoit Paturel in the closing stages, but he would eventually pull clear. But Bernardini fell from 9th, would remount in 14th place. That, of course, allowed Seewer to go through, Ben Watson and a bunch of other riders as well, Adam Sterry and Seba Bryakov, just two of those riders. Lieber initially weathered the storm from Calvin Verlanderen. Lieber would eventually come home in third, Verlanderen fourth, despite the hard-charging efforts of the number 6 Khmer Yamaha of Benoit Paturel, who had to settle for 5th ahead of Brian Bogus, Brent Van Donnick, Jeremy Seewer, who eventually came home in 8th, and Seba Bryakov, with Adam Sterry rounding out the top 10. Jonas, though, had a comfortable ride to second in the end, once he had that clear track. But it was Thomas Covington, number 64, who was the man of the moment. He won his first race here, first Grand Prix victory here a couple of years ago. And of course, he took his first ever qualifying race win here in MX2 as well, with a fine victory here in Leon, Mexico on Saturday. In MXGP qualifying, it was Glenn Koldenoff from the middle of the grid who grabbed the whole shot, with Anstey and Paul on either side of him. But Tim Geiser came out of the first turn in second. Cairoli was right at the back. Geiser thought he found a way through, but Koldenoff just got a little bit offline. Geiser had to hit the brakes, stayed there in second, but continued to push the Dutchman on the opening lap. The two Husqvarnas of Paul and Anstey were right there, but they quickly got split by the 17 of Boutron on the Marchetti Racing Team KTM. The two Belgians of Van Horbik and de Salle were right there just behind them as well. So too was Evgeny Bobryshev in the early stages of the race. Towards the end of the first official lap, though, Tim Geiser got his claws into Koldenoff, jumped a bit further and closed the door over the little scrub jump to take over the lead. Koldenoff then looked comfortable in second for the next 4 or 5 laps or so. These two started to pull clear of Paul Ann, who was third, the 25, Monster Energy Kawasaki of Clement de Salle, fourth, and Max Anstey just behind him in 5th. But Romain Fevre had a error-strewn race and eventually ended up crashing out and getting too much mud stuck around the gear shift and the brake pedal. And that was his race done. He will go to the line 23rd. Geiser was constantly 2 seconds quicker than everybody else as he stretched out his lead at the head of the field. Koldenoff was in second, with Paul Ann in third, but not for long, because the Red Bull KTM rider had a massive crash out of second place. He was lucky to get up and walk away from that on lap 5. Well, that put Paul Ann into second, de Salle third, and Anstey charged his way past de Salle to get himself into third with that move on de Salle, who then fell back to 4th. Gauthier Paulin headed up a 2-pronged attack for Rockstar Energy Husqvarna then, in second with his teammate Anstey in third, de Salle 4th, and Jeremy Van Horbik's Monster Energy Yamaha eventually came home in 5th. Cairoli recovered well to get himself into 6th, ahead of Kevin Strybos. Jeffrey Hurlings rode well to get 8th, Boutron 9, and Bobryshev was 10. But the hot, humid conditions, the circuit at altitude here, was a real test for the best riders in the world today, and the one who made it look the easiest was 243 Tim Geiser and Team HRC, as he took his third qualifying race win out of the first 4 GPs here in Lyon.